Yo, my people, what you saying? It's Malik the Melanated Militant. Welcome back to RRR. Jesus is black. Our leaders are pedophiles. And yeah, it's Planet Earth 2025. What's today? The 1st of August. So obviously, our last podcast was, well, what day was that? That was around the 27th, 28th of February. Don't mind us. Life has been hitting harder than Hulk Hogan's passing. Not gonna lie, didn't take that one too hard.
No idea I was being taped.
On the tape, he refers to his daughter's then boyfriend using the N-word.
Are you a racist?
No, I'm not. I'm not a racist. I never should have said what I said. It was wrong. I'm embarrassed by it. But a lot of people need to realize that you inherit things from your environment.
My brother said something about him saying the N-word, but we're racist, all of us. So we'll move on anyways. But where have I been since the last podcast? I've been everywhere. As many people know, obviously we opened the restaurant to start this year. Thank God. The restaurant's doing its thing. I mean, it's actively going. Everybody's supporting. I appreciate everybody supporting. We're trying to create a new culture in the restaurant as well. So it's like a recognition, because I think for me, growing up black and Irish or Nigerian in general, as a Yoruba man, you know what I'm saying? It's just an interesting thing in this modern day that I feel like there's a disconnect between the young and the old. And I'd like that restaurant and the Iron Cake community to be where we remember how to reconcile what it is we've lost, to bring ourselves back to that middle ground. And I think it's perfect because now I'm 25, so that's a young adult. So I'm starting to get into that age level, or whatever you want to use that word. My English is doing something weird lately. Where words, like I think I know too many words now. So instead of picking one, I have like 5 lined up, and I don't just stick to the one that I want. But anyways, we've gotten to the stage where we can communicate with the elders and we can communicate with the youngers. So we're at mid-ground. Obviously, God forbid, 25 is my mid-ground. 50 is probably mine. 110, 125, we're reaching it. Well, yeah, just creating that community and that communication from the old to the young, so as to preserve our heritage and culture in these times. Shaky times we're in, guys. Because obviously everybody's now kind of up to date on what some of us have been seeing when it comes to material world view and versus self-sacrifice and spiritual view for the longest. Obviously you have the truth of the Macrons in France, Diddy in America, Trump and maybe Epstein and all these other things that are going on. Let's say in higher places, yeah. Then obviously there's a coming recession. If you don't know, it is happening. The boss babes who've been enjoying the lifestyle of young, independent, and don't need a man just need to be aware that it's not that you need a man to provide for you, but you need to be aware of whatever workspace or workforce that you're going into, because there's going to be a lot of layoffs when it comes to administrative positions. Positions that black women or women in general who have, in this modern sense of things, have entered those environments and those workspaces, seen lucrative pathways to a career, and have enjoyed this newfound independence for young women in this time, because women deserve it. For the longest, women weren't able to work, vote, and all those other things. So just watch out for the fact that it seems that they're trying to send us back to the Stone Age. But with everything said, I pray to God that the truth will be salvation for all of us. You get me? Because it's not going to be easy times that we're running into, but it's necessary. Just for the fact that pendulum has been swinging when it comes to like the gays had theirs go this way for ages, and now everything kind of came back to balance in a way. Black people had theirs swing that way for a while. Things are coming back to the middle. And then the whites have had theirs go that way, where everybody was hating on them. And now these men are trying to hate on everybody like they usually have been again. So everything's just finding a new equilibrium, I think, in this changing world that we're in now. So with all of that being said, when it comes to the holistic nature of where the world is going in the next couple of years, I think it's very important for people in my community to be able to decide where we want to go and how we want to grow as a community, because I do believe when it comes to healthcare, when it comes to family, business, social environments, and just planning in general, even religion, we're a bit chaotic. Not in a negative sense of things, but just chaotic in a way where it's like we're allowing the waning world, the waves of the chaos in the atmosphere to become our ultimate decider. So to avoid any regrets of the future and mistakes of the past in the present time, I think I know we need to take ourselves seriously. We need to come closer together and just protect one another, love one another, and all our associates and people in our environment. So yeah, no, that being the big overall arcing purpose of the podcast, I guess, and the music and everything we've done for the last couple of months, years. Welcome back to the podcast. So our last episode was with Dongo. We were speaking about a lot of these topics. And I think the main topic was community stars rising in environments where you're not appreciated or you're envied, or appreciated, loved, praised, and hailed, and how to fight off ego and how to maintain a standard and then at the same time keep friendship, family, and halt the destructive nature of envy. And I guess that's where I've just come from now, like as in with all those things said, it's so interesting how life itself kind of is outside the realm of our careers or what we want to create or what we want to what our legacies to be. It's almost as if like we believe we do these things for either the purpose that's driven within us and then to service family, community, or self desires, or even like selfishness, you know what I mean, when people want to achieve money or anything. But it seems always that these things like kind of like draw away from our reality. Like right now I'm in my room speaking to my community in hope that this will have a positive effect towards our understanding of our environment to help us navigate our coming places. But I'm not deceived by the fact that all of us have brains, legs, arms, eyes, and as we move together, we've been communicating with other people within our spaces to see these things anyways. So I don't believe that I'm the only voice that would be able to emit that message. But there's a purpose within me that feels like this is something I'm supposed to be doing. So now I've halted a part of my real life day where I'm supposed to be getting ready to go for a date with my girlfriend, where I'm supposed to be getting a couple of things done for my machi shop and a restaurant, edits done for my music, and all these other things, or even communicating with family abroad, meeting up with friends, taking care of myself, working out, eating food. I've paused all those things. That's my reality right now to create this environment where I can communicate this part of my career. So, for example, I could be doing, like, as another example of times I do that, it would be in the studio. I could be here rapping directly to the mic, and all other things around me that are part of my life have to take a backstage, you get me, for a while I commit to purpose. So, I feel like when it comes to that conversation I was having with Dongo, an important fact to note when you're doing this thing is that sacrifice is always the balancing act of career and life. Because right now I'm sacrificing time, precious time that I could be using to cater for my reality. For what purpose? So now that's where you have to have God in your life, because God forbid we sacrifice all this time for our own selfish desire only, and then in the end of the arc of life, we look at everything and we say, I missed out on friendship, I missed out on love, I missed out on family, I missed out on like occasions, events, community, all for the sake of building this legacy that didn't benefit anything. Do you get me? And I think that's another conversation I was having with my girl this morning was about heart posture. And it's interesting because Moses changed a stick to a snake. Meanwhile, Pharaoh's guys did the same thing. It was like, you man, who's got the baddest stick? Innit? Bah, bah, bah. And Moses' stick was under the cloak and tent of God. So while Moses' babe and his children were out there doing whatever they were doing, and Moses was doing purpose, his purpose was under the cloak of God. So although he sacrificed in family time to show that his people must be free in the presence of Pharaoh and all of them, and these wizards probably have family and Shatay and children that they're also sacrificing because the Pharaoh has now ordered them to come into this place and disprove what Moses is saying. So now that's the stage. Let's say we've set the stage for what the two careers. Say Moses' career was to be a prophet, and these wizards' career was to be the wizards of the Pharaoh. But meanwhile, they're all doing this. They still have reality. Moses still has his kid them and his wife them who are waiting for him to come home and, you know what I'm saying, drop the last sheep for them to eat, the mutton for breakfast or dinner or whatever. The wizards, vice versa, same thing. But because there's a overall purpose that God has charged them to have to go towards, the stage is set now. Now, the difference is within this, we'll call it a workspace or work environment, corporate for a second, yeah? Pharaoh could be seen as the boss, yeah? Moses can be seen as the entrepreneur, yeah? Because his only boss is God, right? And now the two wizards are the employees of Pharaoh, the boss. Unfortunate for them, their purpose is charged by either desire, greed, lust, profit, and fear maybe because they're scared that if they don't do what my man says, the Pharaoh guy is gonna send them man and their whole families to you know what I'm saying, to Hades. So them man are trying their hardest. But Moses' purpose is given to him by God. Although two of these men are basically are wizards, if you look at it, they're all prophets, you know what I'm saying? If we look at it from a physical eye, it's both man them with sticks and they're trying to change it to snakes, yeah? But the purpose and the divinity in Moses' heart, his heart posture, is giving him triumph over everything that's going to happen there. And when he goes back home, the purpose that he's left his family for follows him home. Because overall, God's purpose for allowing Moses to have this career path as a pharaoh, where everybody says, yo, Moses, bro, you're that guy, you know what I'm saying, and all that kind of stuff, is servicing family, community, and everything else. So Moses doesn't really ever disconnect from who he is. He's kind of this one consistent being in all environments he's in. And I believe that that's what we need to get back to when it comes to career paths, family, responsibilities, and just all of us as beings in general. We have to understand that like me now, watch this for example, I use myself for an example, yeah? Malik, the melanated militant of RNK, of Mama She, and of my own music, yeah? So this year we dropped the tape Spiritual Warfare on the 28th of March, 2025. Now, Spiritual Warfare was a arcing story about my migration from Nigeria with my mother and my brother and my sister to Ireland, growing into adolescence and then into adulthood, not understanding myself, but starting to find myself in God. And from starting in church to secular world, back to church, or back to the tent of God in protection. I'm giving all praise back to God, yeah? Now then INK, community that I'm building so as to assist other migrant populations, as in other native Irish populations, in the communication, where it's like, although yes, we don't want migration because you want your home to be yours, or although I don't want to migrate because I'd like to be at home, it's happened. And in this moment when it's happened, community is necessary, communication is necessary, putting on events that create integration between these communities is necessary so as to avoid the gentrification, marginalization, violence, drugs, rape, and all the other things that come from a lack of understanding, a lack of communication between communities. So that's what I had to face growing up. And then now if we create this template, it services those issues or those problems, those solutions are there. So then now going to my, I've gone from music to the community work to now the family business, mamashi, African cuisine, servicing food to native Irish people who probably are ignorant, not in the violent or disrespectful way of ignorance, but just in a natural fact that Ireland is in Europe, so African food don't day here. So now that we've brought ourselves here, we should also be able to share our culture. So across the table is where we have a communication. So if you want to know about my culture, my family, and my people, food would be on the table to assist us in that communication. Because now, when you get a flavor or a taste of what we're about, you can maybe imagine what our nation is like. Because this food is sourced in those lands, and then you can start to understand how we work. And then you can see that we're not so alien from you. Because yam, potato, okay. Beef, we eat beef. Okay, so what you eat is who you are. So if this is what you eat and it's who you are, and I can trust that, and I can taste and I can like that, I can maybe trust you. Do you get me? And not only maybe I can trust you in my environment, where my kids go to school, when my wife goes to work, when my grandparents or my parents are left to their own devices when I'm away, So community overall is a very important thing when it comes to my life, because growing up in Ireland, Irish people offered us a community. Some Irish people wanted us to be outcasted from the community. Whereas when they offered us their community, I was able to take some parts of it, but I couldn't take all of it because it's not mine. And then when they outcasted me from the community, I wasn't lost because I had mine. So now it's like, how do we find this beautiful, sweet spot where we respect one another and we understand that home for us is still home? Because this Dudu and me shall never go anywhere. Do you get me? It shouldn't. Like, there shouldn't be a self-hate from my place of origin. The solutions that need to get got to create a beautiful Africa are on the way. Amen. Because the truth is being revealed as we speak right now. In these times, like I said when we started the podcast, Jesus is black, the pedophiles, the politicians are in charge, and nothing has really changed. But that's because we've been ignorant for so long. So as we come into the truth now, and purpose being how we can all revolt, but not in murderous terms. In fact, let's just pause it there for a second and get to one of our sponsors for the day. So our sponsor for today is Malik the Melanated Militant, and this song, his latest release, is called Bastille. So we're gonna just have a little listen, because the word revolt came in there in the conversation. And the thing about revolting is, it's something that humans are naturally akin to. In fact, it's one of our first sins. Now, although revolting can be seen as a sin, sometimes it's necessary. Now, the sin I'm talking about is Adam and Eve. I wouldn't really call it a revolt, to be honest, but I'd still call it defiance. Obviously they were defiant in the way where they were told not to, and they did. Now, that's under the tent of the devil that they did, you get me? But you can revolt under the tent of God too, because Pharaoh and Moses, back to Moses again, my G. Moses was one of the princes under the house of Pharaoh, and Pharaoh was the Pharaoh, the king. But Moses went to him and said, "Let my people go." What do you mean that? What do you mean by that, bro? What do you mean your people? I'm the king. All these peoples are mine. And then Moses was told by God to tell him that, "I'm so sorry for your mistaken. These people are spoken for." And Moses is speaking on the behalf of the real king. So it's one of them ones where at times things may seem to be a certain way, but when the truth rises to the top and it's time to say the truth, let's just say it. You get me? Because it might look like a revolution, but it's actually just a rehashing of a truth. Do you get me? Alright, so let's do that, yeah. Bastille. This song is dedicated to all my revolutionaries from the beginning of time, Jesus Christ, to the end. You get me? Myself. So we step diligently, we continue to understand why we do it, who we do it for, and we don't give up, Because realistically, when you're walking in darkness, yeah, or through the valley of the shadow of death, you don't know when you're coming to the light side. Just keep going straight, because imagine you've been suffering. If you ever notice something about suffering, is when you stop, it kind of hurts more. Or when you try to go backwards, you just realize you're going through what you've already gone through again. Why? Let's go forward. You get me? Alright, Bastille. I'm gonna stop running my mouth for a second. What a podcast, bro. You get the live performance as well, bro. Run up, run it, run it, run it. Right, the militants, Bastille. Play ball, the fable, been flipped on fold. The place where truths are told. To wait for the chance you go, gotta get that. Get back, running up Peter to stop. To bottom the bottom my clock. Strap my shoes and it got me to top. The Batman joke with the Joker on up. Two sides to a coin and they're saying a lot. So I'm getting that, I got 'em. Harry by side, fuck a Robin, I rob 'em. Yeah, cause them are the snakes. You must have forgot. I'm dodging the jigs. I don't need no Robin, I rob 'em. Cause them are the snakes. You must have forgot. Oppression is state at the time's a problem. Yeah, cause them are the snakes. You must have forgot. Highly by side, fuck a Robin, I rob 'em. Yeah, cause them are the snakes. You must have forgot. I got 'em, get 'em. Yeah. G-double-O-G, lost enemies who try war we. You can't war we. Lost hella friends, feel like Dory. Part of the script, let me tell you the story. Departed from face, I'm a militant. Tell them round of Bastille, we innocent. Get the King Louis, get the guillotine. While the crowd rowdy off my diligent. For my ancestors, I'm a hitting. Battling, war and shit. Many man jump the ship. Many man can't do this. Make the flip. Make that split. Yeah, them man ain't on me, some man a fake. Some man a phone me, them man a J. They ain't legit, some man will hate. Never been me, so I take a break. Now, on this break, we just want to bring you our sponsors. So, can't be done without Mama She. Thank you, Mama She, for always being there for us, being there for we. That's the Mama She Spices. And obviously, the Bible, God, from the jungle, I've been from the jungle. RNK. Who be the king of life in the who heard it down, was mine, man. So yeah, if you guys want to hear the full song, I'm gonna put the link. I'm gonna enjoy doing this all the time when I use my YouTube, yeah? I'm gonna put the link right here. You know what I'm saying? Does that work? I don't know actually how to do that, so I have to make sure I learn how to do that. But this video needs to get out tonight, so it's gonna be a lot of work we do. So yeah, going back to the topic of revolution anyways, is interesting because Bastille, La Republique is France. And the Bastille is the former prison or former watchtower that was used to protect Paris when the, this word's always slipping my mouth, aristocracy, when the aristocracy of France were good. But then after protecting France using that fortification for a while, things kind of fell into a stage of comfort and the people became docile. After the people became docile, wealth flooded the country and the aristocracy decided that they would change the Bastille. Instead of a place for protecting Paris, they turned it into a prison to actually put those who used to speak to power and corruption and lock them up. So what actually happened was the prison eventually folded up, the corruption got to the point of like no return, and the man then revolted. That's what you call the French Revolution. So they stormed the Bastille and they freed the prisoners, and then man grabbed all the aristocracy and the guillotine went down. And then France was rebranded, and I really don't know, because maybe the French Revolution was a prophecy of the future, because now you got Emmanuel Macron's husband in there, and it seems like the same thing is still happening. The same way I keep saying it, like more time when I start reading into books and stuff, I feel like it's not stuff that's happened, but it's stuff that's for us and will happen. You know what I mean? I feel like them prophets back in the day were really looking far into the future. So anyways, with that being said, that's the track. And it's interesting how, although history shows that these things happened before, and in our present moment, we kind of see them here again, it's like, do we allow the cycle to repeat itself, or do we allow purpose charged with God to let God use us as the vessel of change? I think those are answers that we need to answer, and this is what this podcast today was about. So now, after entering into such deep topics, let's go into some light conversation about where the revolution has led us through this year. So obviously at the start of the year, opening the restaurant, opening with the podcast, bringing Dongo on after Dongo and myself's podcast went viral. I had a lot of Americans hitting me up on my Instagram. I had a lot of interested parties and the racist side of Ireland in my DMs. You get me? And then obviously the Christmas Day slap. You get me? You got slapped on Christmas Day. Oh, might have to run another track for you guys. So this song is called Tracy's Hair Salon. Yeah. So Auntie Tracy, shout out to the girls on Moore Street, the women on Moore Street, the men on Moore Street, always keeping that street open. Moore Street is big Irish history, if you didn't know. It's where a couple members of the 16, the guys from the 16 Rising lost their lives, where they fought to the end, you know what I mean? So that street there holds Irish heritage. And then not only does it hold Irish heritage, it's the oldest flea market in Europe. So it also holds cultural heritage. And now seeing the emerging diversity on that street where you have Asian, African, Arabic, Irish, and many other different cultures, creating a real life hand trade experience where today we see everything is tap, 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 cash still flows on Moore Street. So big up to the people there who keep that street alive and keep a connection to ancient times, because that's how humans first started interacting with each other, you know? Like my clan do pounded yam, your clan do eba, so I need some eba, here some pounded yam. But don't marry my daughters because you guys are whites. Don't marry my daughters because you guys are black. You get me? We just keep it between trade. Let's just keep it trade for now until one silly daughter and one silly son say Romeo and Juliet, how we want to make the new child. You get me? So the new race get made. But that's humans and that's human history. So Moore Street is kind of like a beautiful, holistic place. Anytime I step there, it's like the world in Ireland. Again, big up the traders on Moore Street. Always have my heart anyways, yeah? So Auntie Tracy, we're going to be shooting this music video on her block. We're going to be doing a performance there, release party and all sorts of stuff this August. So this is just the announcement. We're also having a bank holiday Monday celebration at the Mama She restaurant. We'll also be throwing a clean up session this August on the 8th of August, next Friday. And then after, the clean up session is going to comprise of all local artists. And we're all just going to put on a big performance for Dublin City. You deserve it. Then after that, there's also the upcoming headline show and community day. I'll plug you guys in on all of those things. It'll be on the RNK page, the Proper Ade page, and Melanated Militants accounts, Mama She included. So yeah, Auntie Tracy's Hair Salon. You see, man of the people, man of the community. Let's go. So yeah, context behind the song is I got slapped on Christmas Eve, towards Christmas Day. Went viral. You guys know the story.
Man was getting nappy still. Woke up with my hair all napped. Call Auntie Tracy, I need that clean. Them man ain't nothing like us. When I done mileage, I took over the scene. Took over the clubs, took over the stream, took over the gov, took over the street. And the same man lick as a militant, cause he out here taking on fiends. Got slapped on Christmas Day, got slapped on Amjad Bay, got slapped on RTE. So I guess that I'm that big.
Got slapped on your TV, got racist saying my name. Got them all ringing my line, sending me home first class on a plane. Like Caesar, punk I came, started from Granville's and built. Alright, so obviously that track's coming out soon. Like, we got New Machine working on the mix and also doing up a little bit of a chop on the beat thing. So yeah, just leave that one with us and we'll bring it to you guys, bring it to reality. And the context of the track obviously has been spoken about. And then after that video went viral, another video went viral where we were doing a music video for Young Iz and Elo's Sharks and Fishes, yeah? Or is it Fish and Sharks? The track's called, you guys go listen to that, I'll leave it in the link. And another thing is that after we were doing that shoot, I was walking up the road and I saw a young gentleman from Nigeria and I was like, yes, boy, there's enough of these lads around here, isn't there? Like, I don't be seeing any Irish people anymore in this Dublin place. Just black and tan, Asian and all sorts of different races. Like, I was a bit confused. I was like, sure, like, you know, like, this is Ireland. Anyways, go on. I started recording the fellas, anyways, I started recording the boys and to the shock of me, like, I just got vexed and I told them to go home. I just said, send them home, you know, the national chant there, yeah? So, anyways, now the boys didn't take that to offense, like, the way I wanted them to. I think they think I'm like them, you know? They think I'm black or something. But anyways, they're laughing. I didn't like that, so I got my fellow boy with me, and I told him to chant with me, and he was like, no, he's gonna keep them. So I was shocked. I was like, do you mean you're gonna keep them, boy? You send them home now, like, and he said, no, keep them here, and he changed me. I was being racist until he said that, and after he said that, I was like, do you know what? They're not too bad. I like the Nigerian ones. Like, they give us jollof rice, and you know they're sound. I like the Nigerian ones. So like, obviously, I was like, I'm not gonna continue down that way anyways. Like, cause I'm changing my life. Like every day, I want better for myself. So I goes to him, come here, and then me and him started going, keep them here, and it was banter like. And then like the comment section was loving it. Like people are being sound for ages, and then Jace boy, the racist came, and when the racist came, it really went, and I couldn't tell you anyways, but like it's mad. A million views later, like I'm famous. That's all that matters anyways, like, 'cause it's like who actually cares about anything else there? Like, but Instagram, if you're hearing this now, where's my €1 million? Like, where's my €1 million? And TikTok as well, because TikTok's after doing a good bit of numbers there now. So if TikTok's doing all them numbers, Instagram's doing all them numbers, why am I still in my mother's house? All this content creating for what? Go away now, like. So anyways, long story short, the video did its thing. I thank God because it kind of opened up a dialogue for our community where it's like, I don't know if there's actually a rise in racism. Obviously, the bots that are being charged by the government and the bots that are being charged by the far right are creating this illusion online that can then create a rising discomfort. Because realistically, it's not racism, it's kind of concern about migration and then the lack of government assistance or upkeep of facilities to match the demand in everyday anything like housing, food, water, and occupation. So I just pray that all these little things that occur can occur with purpose, you know? Let's not let things happen in a vacuum where we don't come together as communities and address them and cater for one another, because once we allow rot to start, it spreads quickly. So big up to everybody who's seeing these things and seeing it in the nuance, the light banter, and seeing it with an intelligent eye, because it's easy to see things from bigotry and from bias. I was a big bigot before, you know, like I had so much racist experience when I was growing up that it actually almost turned me into a monster. Like, it almost turned me into a monster. But then I had great experiences that changed my outlook. And it's interesting because I'm still supposed to be staunch, my people first. But I understand that we're all the same people. Like, just different hues of wheat. Like, literally, like, I'm the darkest one. But yeah, our genetic makeup does change and, like, it is diverse. But we're humanity, you know? And we've come a very long way, you get me? Since the Hans, bro. Since the Pharaohs, bro. Since all these, man. And I believe we've got a very farther. I did that on purpose. We got a long way to go, do you get me? To greatness. But God day with us. I believe that we all day together. And yeah, thank you for sitting here for 36 plus minutes and listening to me yarn. It's been wonderful to come back to the podcast because honestly, I enjoy this, you know. I have a lot of information to divulge. I hope that I'm going to become more orderly when it comes to my life itself, because doing all these multiple things that all center around the same discourse at times might seem chaotic to me because I'm a perfectionist. It may not seem it like, you know what I'm saying? Look at my room right now. It doesn't look perfect. Look at perfectionist. Said I'm a perfectionist and I let my alarm turn the video off. But I guess that's a calling. That's God. It's also a recognition that things don't have to be perfect, you know? They just are. Like, you're not going to ever have things the way you want them to be. And I think that's what this episode is as well. So, upcoming things... RNK t-shirts will finally be available this month, guys. Welcome to August. You got the option of a white tee or a black tea. And you see this thing, yeah? Made in Nigeria. I want to tell you something about these t-shirts, bro. Let me see. Yeah. Thing about them, yeah? They're in perfect material, bro. Look at that. It's not cotton. It's like cotton polyester. I can't explain this to you, bro. But like, it's good material, bro. And you're a real one, bro. And just another thing to clarify this word for people, because I've got a couple models in the UK who aren't of African descent rocking these brands. It's not just for black people. Like, I want you to understand what this is. So this goes back to the Bible. So Nubia, yeah, is the home of Christianity. You can say that eastern north region of Africa, Ethiopia, Lower Kush, Upper Kemet, Egypt, that area there, like that region, is where Christianity is founded. Now, Christianity, in its modern sense, is Europeanized and then like has its Afrocentric origins. If you want to call it Afrocentric, you wouldn't call it Afrocentric because it's just African. You get me? But African is the world, anyways. So this is real Nubia, real Nubians, and also real Nazarenes, because Nazarenes are followers of Christ. Yeah, it's not the N-word. Yeah, let's just get past that. The reason I've done it like this is to make it controversial, because we always want to highlight bigotry. Bigotry is where you lack knowledge, you know? But then when you find out the truth, let's see what you do with that. You know what I'm saying? Will you call me the N-word, or will you call me by my true name? A Nubian, a Nazarene. You get me? So love to all my people, because you can be a Nazarene too. It's not about color. It's about heart posture. Like I said, the color just is. It's just region. The people were the ones there. You know what I'm saying? But let's enjoy reality from a different lens and a different perspective. Sha? RRR episode 3. Next guest, not going to be me. We're going to have Roz and Shay back. I apologize to everybody for allowing a small bump to cause a rift. Because when the line went off there, look, I just continued. I'm going to stick this part to the end of the video and you guys will watch it. It's not that deep. So sometimes when the CIA try to get in the way, just say CLA. Huh? Can't lie, active. I made that up as I went. Love, guys. I'll see you in a little bit.